Imagine an economy that should have collapsed years ago. Mountains of debt, weak growth, bad decisions stacked on bad decisions. And yet, it never falls. Not because it is strong, but because it is protected. Right now, governments everywhere are under pressure. Interest rates are high. Growth is slowing. Debt bills are coming due. In theory, this is when weak economies fail. In practice, some never do. And that difference matters more than ever. Here is how the system actually works. When a country borrows money, it issues promises, bonds. Investors buy them and expect to be paid back with interest. If investors lose faith, they demand higher rates or stop lending. That is usually the death spiral. Unless you are special. Some economies borrow in their own currency, a currency the world already needs. Dollars, euros, yen. When trouble hits, their central banks can step in. They can create money, buy their own debt, calm markets. No panic, no collapse. It sounds reckless. It works. Others do not get that option. They borrow in foreign currency, money they cannot create. When investors panic, rates explode. Debt becomes impossible to roll over. A small shock turns into a crisis. A crisis turns into austerity. Hospitals cut. Jobs vanish. Governments fall. Same global market. Very different outcomes. The uncomfortable math is simple. If the world needs your currency, your failure becomes everyone's problem. So you get rescued. Quietly. Repeatedly. With polite language like liquidity support and temporary measures. If the world does not need your currency, your failure is contained. You are told to tighten belts, follow rules, be responsible. The irony is sharp. The economies that break rules often survive. The ones that follow them pay the price. Zoom out, and this shapes everything. Which countries take risks? Which ones stagnate? Which ones are allowed to make mistakes? So the question is not who is responsible. It is who is indispensable. And as global debt keeps rising, one question lingers. What happens when too many economies expect to be saved at the same time?